If the gated channel don't work, a lot of things can happen. For example, we start with the basic of there's no Na influx and there's no K efflux. So when those things are not happening, then there will be no action potential. With no action potential, the nervous system, which controls most of the body involuntary system, for example, like the respiratory and the cardiac, which is your heart. So when those things are not working, eventually that could lead to paralysis or even death. Three situations that I know of is lethal injections, snake bites, and water intoxication. So let's talk about lethal injection first. Lethal injection is a type of capital punishment. Capital punishment is for bad people who commit crime. They're sent to the death sentence. Well, there's really no right or wrong answer of should people be executed or not. It's always been debated throughout the world. Some part of the world find it to be cruel and unusual, so they have banned capital punishment in certain part of the world, where other part of the world they haven't, and they still carry out death sentence. A few reasons why some part of society considered capital punishment is because, for example, like the most important is retribution, because the victim of the crime or victim of the person who's part of the family of the crime, they want revenge, so they want that person to be executed. Other reason includes the government don't want those people to be spending time in jail, so they have to feed those criminals with the people tax money. So instead, just execute and get rid of them, and there's one less person to take care of. The debate is not just throughout the world; it's always been throughout time. Back in the old days, there's all sort of capital punishment. It goes from unusual to cruel and very painful. You want to know more about it, you can Google and look it up. Some of the most common one is hanging a person, and the other one is guillotine. With hanging a person, they just drop a person from a very height, and then the person will fall, and their body weight is gonna cause them to snap the neck. So that's how they die from hanging. If they don't die from the snap, then most likely they'll die from suffocation. With the guillotine, a sharp blade falls from a height, and then as it falls down, it chops off a person's head. Now here's something interesting about the guillotine. It's not always at an angle if you look at the blade. Before that, they actually made the blade just perfectly horizontal. The problem with that is when it goes down, it is counteracted by the person's bone in the neck, so it would force the blade to stop, even though it's not completely done. So therefore, technically the person would not be dead yet, but their neck would be half chopped. Yeah, I know. So what happened is they realized that throughout time, and they discovered through physics that if you put a blade at an angle, it would be much smoother. So therefore, they don't have to do it 2, 3 more times and such like that. Well, there always are chances that there will be an innocent person who will be executed, but it's society, laws, rules. It's just what society prefer, their preference. There's really, again, no right or wrong answer about it. Then as we approach the modern day, about a few decades ago, they used the electric chair and the gas chamber, which is less painful than the other one. However, these two still does take a long time for the person to die. So they resort to a less painful method. With lethal injection, the person is injected with all sort of chemical that act upon the body and causes all sort of malfunction in the person's system, and then eventually that will lead to death. The first dose of injection is going to cause the person to go to sleep, therefore it will be painless. The second dose causes paralysis. What it does is it acts on the person's nervous system, which blocks the gate channel, so no AP. And then, since there's no AP, this nervous system does not act on the muscle of the person. And the last dose will cause cardiac arrest. That's kind of like having a heart attack. It causes the heart muscle to stop acting, and so the person would die. Let's see lethal injection in action. So here's a short clip from the movie Terminator Salvation.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
have any last words?